Hey guys, welcome back for our second episode of 6 Feet Apart. Today we're here with Dylan's 1992 Nissan Skyline GTR. This thing's got a few fueling upgrades. It has the R34 turbos. It's got some pretty sweet Graham Light wheels. Dylan's coming on our East Coast run this year. This is his second East Coast run with us. He came on our first one. As you can see, he did a Lightning McQueen theme for his custom vinyl wrap. So we're actually in Methuen, Massachusetts. We're gonna go to Dylan's favorite sub shop in town. We're gonna set up a couple chairs 6 feet apart, and we're gonna have a conversation about the car. So stay tuned. Got some food from Bada Bing, subs and wings, in downtown Methuen. 6 feet. 6 feet apart. All right, Bada Bing, Methuen, Massachusetts. I feel like I'm doing a food review video. Cheers, cheers. Feel free to dig in. All right, cool. So, after your bite, tell me, I guess we'll start with a bit about your car. 92 Skyline. Tell me about, the importing process. Not everyone knows about importing, so obviously this is a right-hand drive car. It's Japanese, it's imported. Just kind of go through your buying process. I keep dropping food. We'll clean it up. But okay, go through like how you found it, how you imported it, all that stuff.
So I didn't actually import it. It was already here. But so basically what it was I found.
Continue.
Cut. No, so yeah, it was already imported. I had known, I had built up a small selection of importers that I would keep checking back in. If we want to go way back, I was actually originally planning to get a Mark IV Supra.
Okay, why'd you choose the Skyline over the Supra? Both great options. I just
Yeah, both awesome. But yeah, it was availability. I was looking kind of just as the Mark IVs were legal, and they just exploded in price.
Oh yeah.
So that kind of pushed them out of my range a little bit. And I wanted something, I didn't want to buy a low model and have to wait to build it. I wanted something that was good to start. So that kind of pushed me off of that, and my friend Joel has a Skyline as well. And he's had his for, I think, 4 years now. So I had gotten introduced to the Skyline from him, and really it's the total package. I mean, turbo, all-wheel drive, manual, it's got crazy 90s tech in it. So it was kind of a really cool car just on its own. And then just as I started looking, started to get more appealing. So this one popped up at a place called HP Logic down in Florida. And they're good guys. A smaller outfit, but definitely good guys. It was surprisingly cheaper than what I was expecting. And so I called them, and I could call or text the guy day or night, and he would answer me.
Customer service.
Amazing customer service. So yeah, called him a couple times. We talked through it. He sent me videos. He took a video of him driving around the parking lot. He sent everything. Made sure I was very comfortable buying it, because it was, you might call it sight unseen. I never went to look at it before purchasing it.
Ballsy.
So yeah, eventually decided on it. Got the money, wired it. They put it on a truck, and it almost made it here. And then I got tired of waiting. And so I called the guy when he was in Connecticut.
I forgot.
Drove down to Connecticut, took it off his trailer, and drove it back.
I forgot the driver took his time coming up.
Yeah, the driver, 2-day trip turned into about a week and a half.
Yeah.
So I was kind of done waiting, and I already had parts.
I need them on now.
Yes, I had the exhaust, and I had, I think, a strut bar and something else sitting in the garage waiting for the car to show up.
Yeah. Damn.
So yeah.
Cool.
That's kind of the story of how it got here.
Very cool. Awesome. So I remember just another regrouping. So you came on board with Squad 2 years ago? You were on the first East Coast run.
Yes, first East Coast run was kind of like, it was when you were, I guess, say, advertising the first East Coast run, is when we were introduced. And then after that, that's when we started coming to events.
Right.
We were now introduced.
Right. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I know, you and Joel have always been kind of a package, so you guys are like the Skyline guys ever since you got started. I mean, you had the Volvo initially, which is also kind of a cool car.
Yes.
So just real quick, tell the people, so what is the Volvo again? It was not a Polestar, but it was...
No, it was not. This was kind of before Polestar. So it was a 2005-6 V70R.
Okay.
So it's the wagon with a single turbo 5-cylinder engine, all-wheel drive, and mine was 6-speed manual, which is a relatively rare option.
Right.
There were only around 1,000 of that generation in 6-speed manual. But no, I mean, awesome car. Had 300 horsepower from the factory in a wagon. So it was fun, but very unique, very niche. So not a lot of aftermarket options for it. And the way I looked at it, there wasn't really much of a future to it.
Okay.
Like you couldn't, you could take this to 1,000 horsepower.
Right.
There's a very high ceiling. With
I see what you're saying. Okay.
There wasn't much more to go. So.
Got it.
Yeah, so that was the Volvo. That was kind of my first real performance car. And then after that, I knew I wanted a strictly summer, nice weather, high performance car. And that's when I started looking Supras and this.
Cool. That's awesome. I've always wanted like a JDM car, and like, I don't know, I feel like someday I will have one, whether it's a Skyline or a Supra or RX-7, like something like that, like something like that. Like that'd be cool to build, like from the ground up. They're relatively affordable, so it's not like you're spending like supercar money and then have to build it. It's like you can spend, $20,000-$30,000 or less. Excuse me. Get like a nice car, have a good time. Plenty of aftermarket options, I believe, to modify it. The aftermarket world.
Yeah, you have to the moon and back.
Right.
Options for it.
So. You currently have this 1992 Nissan Skyline GTR. You built it, done some stuff to it, made it your own. Lightning McQueen. It's Dylan's car. Do you have a goal, maybe a short term, like a car that you want to have in the next 5 years, maybe a dream car, a realistic dream car, and then like maybe like a favorite unrealistic one if you want to throw that in there as well.
So short term, gonna keep kind of building this, go through it. I know, being a 28-year-old car has some reliability, so still going through it with reliability issues, kind of maybe modernizing some stuff. It has the new ECU in it, so I can kind of tweak it a little bit. Long term for this, I could see maybe a big single turbo kit, maybe a 6-speed, whether sequential or not.
Okay. What do you have now?
5-speed.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Only a 5.
Got it.
The 34s came with 6.
Got it.
Which is a hot swap into this. You can throw it in this. Nice little short gearbox.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
So I do have plans for this if I keep it. If it hangs around, definitely we'll keep continuing it. I've been stuck on the 996 generation Porsche 911 Turbo.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny because if you bring it down to specs, it's almost the same as this.
Twin turbo, straight
turbo,
6.
Flat 6.
Flat 6.
6-cylinder, twin turbo, all-wheel drive, manual. The engine's just at the back instead of the front.
Right. True.
Yeah.
The German equivalent.
Okay.
Okay.
How about that? So I think my next performance car is going to be one of those. I'll find one of those.
Yeah.
I've just been, the more I see builds of them and the more I see shoots and what people have done to them is...
You can make them look nice.
You make them look really nice.
Yeah.
And you can make some power on them.
I've seen, I think, 1,000+ builds.
All
like
very
easy. Right. Like not a big deal. Like all day.
So that's kind of next performance car.
Okay.
I guess, I don't know. I have a soft spot for, I call them super wagons. those like
RS6
kind of, Volvo, but yes, RS6 Avant. Not so much a Merc fan, but like the E63 AMG, just stuff like that. So I've been thinking about making an RS6 stateside.
Okay.
So the generation that I like of the RS6 had a twin turbo V10, basically out of the Lamborghini Gallardo.
Okay.
And they just plopped it into an Audi wagon. So
why not?
And I think, you know, you can find the A6 wagons, you can find the engine. I don't see what could go wrong.
Okay.
So that's kind of, that would
ambitious.
Be like a dream. That would be kind of like a dream.
A dream build.
Yeah, a dream build. Yep. Maybe daily duty. Don't know how reliable it would be though. But yeah, so I mean, I'm not a huge supercar fan because personally I think it's a little unattainable for me.
Okay.
So I don't really, not that I don't say waste my time, but I don't really use my time thinking about what I would do if it's not really feasible. I'd rather think of
that's valid. That's fair. Yeah.
Like an Audi wagon, you know, something that I could do.
Right.
Possibly.
Okay.
But definitely, like if we're picking outrageous picks, F40.
F40. Damn.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody loves the F50. I like the F40.
They're both nice. Very classic.
Yes. Yeah.
Ferrari like.
Oh yes.
Mint. Like when you see one of those, you know what it is. It's not it's unmistakable.
Yeah. So F40 would be nice. I've been a big fan of Koenigsegg. Everything they've done.
Yeah.
I love what they've done.
Very cool. I like them because they're small and they're like. Yeah, they're unique. It's different. Yeah, it's one dude, Christian von Koenigsegg, in Sweden.
Yes.
So it's one guy in Sweden building these like fastest car in the world, I believe. Fastest production car in the world.
Production car. Yeah. I believe they have that record right now. So.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Dude, they're doing some nutty stuff. Even like not even just car speed wise, but just engineering wise. Yeah. The designs and the stuff that they've come up with has been insane.
So I remember you telling me this story, like I think this was last year when we partnered with Ace Performance. They are like an Ariel Atom dealer, and I think you mentioned you had worked for Ariel Atom or something like that?
Yes. So that's actually kind of one of the highlights of, I guess you call it a career.
My car career.
Car career, yes. We'll call it the car career, because that is actually future. I know I'm an engineer now, and I still would like to be an engineer, but I'd love to get into automotive manufacturing.
Okay.
And kind of that side of it, that deal of it. So this was actually my first introduction with that, was an internship with TMI Autotech, who are down in Virginia, and they're actually the North American manufacturers of aerial vehicles. So
Ariel sends them from overseas?
Nope.
Or are they American?
No, they build them.
I should know this. No, so I thought they sent them over in pieces, and then that company builds them, no?
That's how it started.
Oh, got it,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so Ariel is a United Kingdom.
Right, okay, so that's, I was like, I knew it was from there at some point, okay.
So yeah, Ariel is UK.
Got it.
TMI, which actually started, I mean, they have a whole history, started as Canadian endurance racers.
Okay.
And then they all partnered up and decided, hey, let's start building some cars.
Okay.
So they do a lot of motorsport support. They do a lot of manufacturing for pieces for motorsport. But yeah, then they landed a partnership with Ariel UK, and it started where Ariel would ship the car in pieces, and they would, TMI would assemble it in Virginia.
Got it, okay.
For North American, Western Hemisphere. Buyers. And then, being that they were a manufacturing shop and engineers and all this stuff, they started kind of reverse engineering the pieces.
Okay.
So they could start manufacturing them in-house rather than waiting for cargo containers and
right.
from the UK. Pardon me. They could start just building it on hand. And so that's what they started doing, and we're back with the original Ariel Atom is when they started. So by now they have almost the entire Atom, which they're on the Atom 3 and the 4 actually just got released. That's entirely manufactured and built in Virginia. And then the Nomad, which is their off-road variant.
Okay.
They're still kind of in the process with that. They're still getting some pieces, but they're making some pieces. They can reuse some stuff from the Atom that they know, and so just slight tweaks there. Got to go to a couple Cars and Coffees.
Katie's Cars and Coffees?
No.
No, I think those are the original Cars and Coffees.
Oh.
I think it's Virginia as well, pretty sure. Don't hold me to that, but I think it's called Katie's Cars and Coffee, and it's either Georgia or Virginia, but I think it's Virginia.
Well, so we were on the very southern border of Virginia, so basically we just hopped into North Carolina. So
Got it, okay.
That's where the Cars and Coffee I went to was in North Carolina, and they're actually gracious enough to let me drive a Nomad to one of them.
That's fun.
Drive the supercharged Nomad, which was very cool.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I've yet to drive one. I want to drive an Ariel. I think that's on the list of things to drive.
I still want to drive an Atom because I got a ride in an Atom from the technicians that it just completely
Rips.
redefines speed. Like it's, and I'm sure the open top and expose definitely lends to it, but having the air inlet about 2 inches from your head and a turbo sucking air past you, like it's crazy.
Damn. That's something I feel like, do you think that would do well on like the East Coast run, or probably not so much?
I think you would definitely have to make some compromises.
Okay.
With it. It's definitely not a super comfortable long haul car.
Okay.
Because I mean it's fixed bucket seats.
Oh yeah.
It's, push rod suspension. It's definitely set for performance and performance only, but it's still a very cool experience.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you, Dylan, for being on our second episode. Besides the pilot, this is, the second episode of 6 Feet Apart. It's been nice talking to you, checking out the R32. But yeah, we'll see you around for sure.
Yeah, definitely see you around.
Cool. I don't know how to end it, but.